Hello, I'm Jamie from Comic Book. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. Okay, WandaVision is my favorite thing Marvel's ever done. I have 2 WandaVision tattoos. I showed you one yesterday. My Agatha tattoo. Yeah.
Do you want to see this tattoo?
Okay, real quick. It's
Yeah,
on,
real
it's
quick.
on the back of my neck, so gotta pull it down.
Oh wow! Oh wow, that's so cool.
I mean,
So, when they announced that you were getting your own show, I lost my mind. And I'm curious, to you, what was most important of continuing this legacy of bringing back Westview? What was to you the big thing?
well, one of the biggest was that it was Jack Schaeffer because she created all of that and she kind of created this iteration of Agatha because she's all over the place comics-wise and touches on so many worlds. And so like that creation of this Agatha was like so beautifully crafted by her. And then, but it was very important to both of us that it honored Westview and the world of Westview, and also started in reality of what would happen next. Mm-hmm. And so it's really about like her gaining her, not even her powers back, but like then changing.
Yeah.
Like there's like, she shifts.
I'm gonna keep getting up because I made you little gifts. We got an Agatha bracelet.
Oh my
And
gosh!
a teen bracelet.
cute.
Because Joe, I think it's so funny when I've heard you, talking about the show when you keep calling him Teen, and I thought you were just hiding your character's name, but they call you Teen.
This is what I'm trying. This every film I know. He genuinely is like.
I call him Teen.
It's really cute.
It's
funny.
really woven into the show, and everyone's like, "No, I'm like, no, I mean it. It's genuinely like
It's the character.
I'm not just.
But we all are like guessing, right? We all have our theories. I know my theory, and I'm curious. You're kind of getting thrown in the deep end here in terms of keeping Marvel secrets. How has that been for you? Is it a struggle?
It's frustrating sometimes because I want to talk about all the amazing things in the show, but also the amazing things in the show are only amazing if the secrets are kept until they're supposed to be. Like the reveals and the twists and the turns are only effective if they're kept.
Fair.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Speaking
There's
of
a lot.
Yeah, things I don't want to know. 2 years ago, I interviewed Elizabeth Olsen, and she told me she wanted to see The Witch's Road. And right now, I am like, I'm not waiting for her. Like, this is Agatha's show. I'm not sitting there. I'm not going to ask if she's showing up, but I am curious if you've talked to her, if she knows that The Witch's Road is happening.
I actually don't know if she knows, but we texted yesterday. I texted her to be like, oh, I'm thinking about you nonstop. I love you. And, because she was such a good introduction and welcome to this world. And so it was really sweet to have like a connection on the eve of all this press. And but I don't know if she knows I don't know what she knows about the show.
Okay.
I think Mary and Jack were sending her photos during production.
Okay,
So.
great. I love that. Your chemistry with Aubrey Plaza knocked me out. I'm like, I was gonna faint. And you have a history. You did Parks and Rec together. I know you're friends. Did you have anything involved with her casting? Was just like, oh, you're here. We know each other.
Oh, I remember Mary and Jack were like, we're thinking, and I was like, yes. I was so excited because we didn't really have a chance to work together on Parks and Rec. We were kind of ships in the night. But this was like, I knew it would be juicy. And the fact that we just got to work on something like so juicy, not just comedy, was like, I think so fun for both of us.
Cool. And this next question is Brad Winderbaum approved. He just confirmed to my friend Joe from Screen Rant that Agatha's getting a musical What If episode. Yeah. I know. So I just, can you tell me, is it more Lopez's original music?
This is the first I've heard of it.
What?
Yeah, heard it from you first.
Okay, so you're not in there? What is?
I don't know.
Wow.
But I'm glad that it's happening.
I think that'd be amazing.
Great. Me too. But
Yes.
now I'm confused. Now I need more information.
Marvel likes to
feel like
knock
Brad
everyone off their feet.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I can't wait for that.
He's the one who can say
it. Patty LuPone and you have both done Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
How was it singing with her?
I mean, a dream come true. Pat is someone I've loved for my whole life. So
To sing with her?
no, but as in.
yeah.
You're all singing around.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I loved these 4 episodes deeply. I can't wait
Thank
for
you.
more.
You are gonna be so happy.
I'm Jamie from Comic Book.
Hi.
I made each of you a little gift.
What? Oh my
Got
goodness.
Potions, not Mrs. Hart.
Wait, really?
And cursed for you.
These are so cute.
I love the show so much.
I also love the evil eye.
Oh
too.
yeah,
That's great.
awesome. These 4 episodes, it feels like it was made for me specifically. And WandaVision is my favorite thing Marvel's ever done. I have 2 WandaVision tattoos, including an Agatha. So when they announced Agatha, I was like, this is happening. Yeah. So I'm curious, for you coming back, what was that? Were you shocked?
Shocked. Yeah. I was just I was stunned. I was shocked. I was really excited. And I was told about the witch part. So I was all in, just all in. I had no idea what was going to happen to Sharon, but I was all in.
Perfect. And you're joining the MCU. Yeah. This is huge. Were you fans of the franchise? Did you do any comics deep dives? What was your reaction?
I have been a fan of the MCU for a really long time, and this was a dream of mine. And to be able to enter it in this show is amazing. Yeah. Like, I also really like witches, and so it really is the perfect storm.
I couldn't have dreamed up a better way to
really
enter.
Is my dream job.
Yeah.
Amazing. I interviewed Elizabeth Olsen 2 years ago, and she told me the one thing she wanted to see was the Witch's Road. Mm-hmm. And what's funny is, at this point, I'm not going to ask, is she showing up? Because that's a silly question. No one's going to answer that. But at this point, it seems like maybe not. It's Agatha's show. And you're in a movie that I really enjoy called Liberal Arts.
Oh, yeah.
And if you were like, which liberal arts actor would be walking the Witch's Road?
It is kind of funny, right?
Yeah, and I'm curious if that has come up at all.
It hasn't. You were the first person to. I played Lizzie's roommate.
You're the first one.
First person. Yeah, I played her roommate. That was one of the first films she made. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was her college roommate.
Oh, funny.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you haven't called her and be like, guess what I get to do?
I mean, if I have, I can't tell you.
Okay, I love that. Love that tease. I need to know how terrifying it was to have to sing with Patti LuPone.
Oh my God, yes. Horribly intimidating, but then she was so warm and kind.
Very supportive.
Yeah. Very egoless.
Yeah, but it was very fun. And actually our sound blends together really well. And I think everyone's gonna be like, they're not Patti LuPone for sure, but
yeah. But the day that Patti LuPone gives you a compliment on your singing voice, it's like,
feels
I'm done now. I can retire.
Yeah.
It's I'm good.
Exactly. This show, previously I'd heard some of you say it's scary, and I was like, all right, Disney, let's see what you got. And
what do you think?
I was surprised, especially the 3rd episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's some scary stuff going on, and I'm curious if for any of you what it was like to step into that world. I'll ask you first, Ever. How did that feel for you? Because it was scary.
Okay, see, it wasn't scary for me.
Okay.
Because it was just enjoyable. I mean, it was just fun, So I have trouble watching myself. I don't like to do that because I just find wrong things all the time. But, do you have to wrap it up?
No, not yet. We're good.
Oh, okay. I have trouble watching myself, so I sometimes skip over those parts, but I watch other people,
How'd we do?
So you did good. You did so good. I was so proud of you. So proud. But for me, it was just play. It was just freedom and playtime. And
did you feel that way as well, or were you getting the scaries?
I don't know if I felt scared on set, when we were doing it.
I think there's more psychological scares. We have to go places in our brain that are kind are dark. Mm-hmm. But the horror elements were more exciting.
Yeah,
those are fun.
It was play. It was
Cool.
Yeah.
In the 4 I've seen, we've gotten a lot of kind of your backstory, and so I'm still waiting a little bit more, but it seems like your character has a huge history.
Yeah.
And was behind the scenes, was that presented to you, or did you have to kind of fill in some gaps yourself?
Oh, I mean, I was a little bit both, I guess. I did a little bit of research on Jennifer Kale, but also we are creating a different version of her for this show. So I did talk to a lot of the writers and Jack about who is this person and what is her journey going to be. And it's really fun to be able to play with some of the source material and make it our own.
Cool.
And she was so mysterious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody loves
Yeah.
Because I'm from Comic Book, we always like to, you're in this very specific pocket corner of the MCU. If you could go anywhere else, where would you go?
You mean within MCU?
Yeah, within the MCU. Or the whole multiverse. It's pretty big now.
It's very big now. Yeah. Maybe Wakanda. I like Black Panther.
I know, I do love the Thor.
Mm-hmm. I'd go to any of them. Just any of
Simple
them.
answer.
I would do it over again in a second.
Wherever they'll have me.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I hope everywhere because I loved these episodes.
Oh,
I can't
thank
wait
you
to
so
finish
much.
it.
Thank you. Thanks.
And I just gave you this Witches Road
Yes, you
bracelet.
did.
And because I want to talk about Witches Road.
Yes.
Because I love the James Robinson comics about Scarlet Witch, and I'm very curious, since I'm not going to waste anyone's time and ask you if Wanda's in the show. But I will say, at the very least, she's not in these first 4 episodes. It's very much Agatha's show. What was it like taking what is such an important part of Wanda's story and removing her basically in this way? Well,
Yeah, I mean, of course, we're in the WandaVision universe. We're in that corner of the MCU sandbox. But this is very much, as you say, Agatha's show. She would not have it any other way. And she's my focus and our focus. And so, yeah, the launch of this is all about who is this woman really? And she is a mystery unto herself. And I love to make these puzzle box shows and to so sort of focus it on Agatha. Yeah, it's all there.
and WandaVision is my favorite thing that Marvel's ever done. I have 2 WandaVision tattoos.
Stop.
Yeah, I've got Wanda, and my back of my neck, which is not hard to show, I have Agatha. So when Agatha was announced as a show, it was like the best day of my life that it's happening. And I feel like with Marvel now is kind of taking things back a little. They're not making as much content. And I feel like if we were in today, Agatha may not have happened because she's such this niche, fun character. And so I'm curious, as someone who gets to bring these really fun characters to life, your thoughts on, are we maybe missing out by making this, or is it better for quality?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I didn't hear anything else after the reveal of your 2 tattoos. It was all like, ooh. So that's incredible. And also that's really beautiful. I don't know who the artist is, but really nailed it with the eyeballs. And now your question was, you made an interesting point. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think things have shifted in Marvel's mission. And I think that if it was right now in the question of, do we greenlit an Agatha show, I think it wouldn't be a lock necessarily because of their current methodology. So, but there's a lot about both WandaVision and Agatha All Along where I feel like I got away with something or got something in under the wire or pulled one over on people. So it always, we always sort of feel like, the weirdos in the corner. And I love that and embrace that. And, from the actors to behind the scenes, I think everybody is down with that vibe of how weird can we be?
And this is one that I'm like, well, can we answer this question? But kind of piggybacking off that, right now in the 4 I've seen, it's such its own thing, right? We're not thinking about the greater MCU implications, and that's fine with me. I'm here to watch Patty LuPone sing a song. But could we maybe expect a little bit of that, some sprinkles, some MCU sprinkles?
Yeah, I mean, yes, you're right. This very much stands on its own. It is about Agatha, and I think in any MCU property there are threads that connect because that's what we do. But I mean, it's my hope that the reach will extend. But I believe that this show itself is satisfying. The same way WandaVision was. It was an experience to be had, and we're trying to do the same with this one.
Cool. Much to my personal dismay, WandaVision lost a lot of Emmys to Mare of Easttown. Was that part of the choice to kind of poke fun at that shit?
Sorry, what? sorry, what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You we broke up there for a second, even though we're in person. Truthfully, we were on that awards journey with that team. I'm very friendly with the showrunner of that show, the creator of that show, and the idea of doing a true crime procedural episode that predates Mare of Easttown, but it certainly kind of put a finer point on my idea and felt it had that sort of cheekiness, that Agatha has to sort of be we were maybe in competition with this thing, and so maybe we'll do this thing over here. You're the only one who saw that.
I was cracking up.
And I love that. And so yeah, but it's entirely out of respect. And Evan Peters is in Mare of Easttown, and I adore him. I think he's a tremendous talent. So I love that show, and everything in WandaVision and in Agatha All Along, whatever allusion allusions, whatever pop culture pieces we're bringing in, it's out of love. So that's what we were doing there.
I love that. Finally, it was recently announced that Terry is now showrunning the Vision show. Are you still involved with that though? Or?
I'm not.
Okay.
And I wish them so well. Paul is a dear friend, and he's an extraordinary person. He owns this character. So I'm not involved, but I'm entirely rooting for it.
Awesome. Well, the episodes of Agatha I've seen, I feel like they were made for me specifically. I feel like you called up, said, how do we help Jamie? So thank you for that. It was lovely to meet you.
Oh my gosh, and you as well. Thank you, Jamie.
I'm Jamie from Comic Book. How are you today?
I am great, Jamie.
Awesome. WandaVision is my favorite thing Marvel's ever done. I have 2 WandaVision tattoos. This is my favorite thing. So for you, coming back to work on Agatha, what was the most important thing to you when it came to keeping the world of Westview alive?
I just love the corner of the Marvel Universe that we created, which started in WandaVision, and it was really exciting to return to Westview. I think we were all very interested to know what has Agatha Harkness been up to after Wanda put her under that nosy neighbor spell to render her harmless. But Agatha All Along picks up after the events of that, and we find that Agatha's been trapped in Wanda's spell that has since been distorted after the events of Multiverse of Madness. My goodness. The spell has somewhat gone awry, and Agatha has to break her out of that. And with the help of this mysterious goth teen, she's able to do so, and it's him who asks her to take him on the Witch's Road. She's missing her power, he has wants of his own, and so they form an unlikely partnership.
That's great. Okay, so I'm going to ask this as delicately as possible because I don't want to give spoilers out there. But in the 3rd episode, a name is dropped, and during the WandaVision time, there is a lot of theories that a certain character would show up, and that character did not show up. And so, but their name is dropped. Is this just to appease the people who were guessing back then? Does it mean anything? Can you answer this question?
I can say that we were all very delighted by all the fan theories that came out over the course of WandaVision, some that we were very surprised by ourselves. So I think, of course, as always, fans will have to tune in to find out. And unfortunately, that's all I can say about that.
That's fair. I shoot my shot, So, and you of course worked on the Marvels, which I've seen 5 times. I love it so much. And we have this post-credit scene that I really want to bring up with Monica, because in Deadpool, we've learned all about Earth 1005. And can you confirm if that end credit scene is in the Deadpool, the X-Men, does that live in that exact universe?
I think fans and myself will have to tune in to find out.
I'm going to keep on pulling, doing my best here. I do, one thing that I want to mention too is that one of my favorite things about Agatha in the episodes I've seen is the chemistry between Kathryn and Aubrey, and just these 2 characters. And there's stuff that I'm hoping will happen, and with these 2. And I'm curious. Just from a standpoint of like bringing her Aubrey Plaza into the series, because she played the Shadow King in Legion, how it was kind of separating her from that, if that makes sense, like bringing her into this world.
Well, what's really exciting about this show is that it is all new, all original. Agatha Harkness is the first character that ever starred in her own Marvel comic book to now be featured in her own show. So you really can't look to the comics or anything in the past to anticipate where this show will go. Aubrey and Kathryn Hahn just have incredible chemistry on screen and off. Their relationship is mysterious by design. It's clear that they have a complicated past. And what makes, I think, that really interesting is that because Rio Vidal is a character who has known Agatha in her past, Agatha is a character who keeps her truth very close to the vest. It's characters like Rio who are able to help peel back the truth that is Agatha Harkness.
All right. I know that you possibly can't tell me what, but do you know what your next project with Marvel is going to be? Do you know what the future holds?
Well, I can say that, and I think this has been I'm looking around for confirmation. I think it's been announced that Vision Quest is in development, so I'll be lucky and thrilled to be back on that. Very early days, though, but we'll pick up after the events of WandaVision as well.
I can't wait.
Brad, Agatha All Along, you guys got another one. This is great.
Thanks, Brandon. From your lips to God's ears.
Murder mystery in the MCU. Let's start with the kind of going into like a murder mystery genre with this, with also supernatural and all that. Talk to me about how you guys finally got this injected into the Marvel world.
Yeah, I mean, it really all comes from the mind of Jack Schaeffer. She had an idea for Agatha, and we were like, tell us more. Yeah. And starting her in a Mayor of Easttown type world where you can imagine Kathryn Hahn, playing that role in a parallel universe, and she does it so well as kind of the fractured spell. Because remember, at the end of WandaVision, she's permanently stuck as the nosy neighbor by Wanda as her penance for what happened in that show. And then because of the events of Doctor Strange, that spell gets shattered, but it doesn't mean she's free of it. Yeah. And she has to persevere through this murder mystery environment.
With WandaVision being like one of the most revered Marvel titles, certainly since Endgame, is like since the 2021 launch of the MCU going forward, WandaVision is one of the most popular titles. I assume one of the most watched titles, most talked about. How do you guys kind of try to take advantage of the fact that people love that show so much, we're all aware of it, and then try to do something new that respects the legacy of that show? Well,
it really is, it really comes down to Jack. And, Jack brought that world to life in WandaVision. And Kathryn Hahn embodying that role. I mean, she became an icon on screen. Agatha was always a side character. She's a villain in WandaVision, but like Wolverine showing up in an issue of Incredible Hulk, you never know what the audience is going to respond to. Yeah. And Agatha was no different. So as soon as Jack became inspired, we all just went down the road with her.
That's awesome. And I kind of want to ask that same question, but about Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Because it felt like Doctor Strange didn't hugely incorporate WandaVision. Some of it was there. Some people wanted a little bit more. How much of Doctor Strange 2 factors into Agatha All Along?
I mean, I would say that if you know the MCU, it might justify a few things that happen in kind of a prologue way, but if you're coming to it straight from WandaVision, or you're coming to it, frankly, never having watched another Marvel show before, you get the information you need and about the characters you need for the journey.
Whose idea was the title changes all along, and when did it become part of the bit?
Well, it was always Agatha All Along. We were like, it's going to be Agatha All Along, and then someone was like, we should just like come up with a bunch of different titles to mess with the audience. It started with like, we'll do it as a fake chairback, and then we're like, oh, we'll actually do it as a fake announcement. And it was like, it just went back and forth until they just got more and more ludicrous.
As we're seeing with Deadpool right now, what we're seeing with that, things like those titles, when you guys are having fun with it, we're having fun with it. So I appreciate that. I just talked to Kevin at Deadpool and Wolverine. He told me Nova is going to be a show. That's you.
So Nova's in development right now. We are, but I will say we're developing more than we make. This is part of the new Marvel. But we should talk about this because at Marvel, everything has a spotlight on it, and everyone gets super excited, and we love Nova, and we want to get it right.
Yeah.
So, but it's in development. We got a few things in development, and we're not going to go on a show until we are happy with a pilot, happy with the Bible. So it is in development right now.
I mean, obviously Nova, Richard Rider, pretty cosmic character. Yep. Cosmic on Disney Plus hasn't really happened yet.
Yep.
How do you think TV could approach that pocket, those further out universes, parts of the Marvel universe?
I mean, I've been really inspired by what Trek has been doing over the last few years. I think their shows are incredible. That's why we hired Terry to do Vision Quest with us. The Nova that's being developed right now, it is really like it's an amazing ensemble piece. I shouldn't say too much.
I totally get it, yeah.
But it's like it's a great cast of characters that like are it's got shades of Trek, it's got shades of Battlestar, but also has like it also feels like if you know those comics, you know how heated, let's say, that Richard Rider kind of world can get, and it certainly embraces all that.
Okay, last thing. Do you think we'll see any more special presentations anytime soon down the road?
Yes, I do.
Let's go. Brad, always great talking to you, man. Thank you.